everyone and welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met before, my name is Shiv. Hello, if you're coming back then welcome. In today's video I'm filming this look for you right here. I'm going to show you how to create it with some in-depth steps and tricks and things like that. I use the BPERFECT Carnival XL Pro palette. I've been filming for about 4 hours, so I'm a little bit tongue-tied, I do apologise, but I am absolutely obsessed with this palette. This has been around for ages. They're bringing out a new one soon, but this is what it looks like. You can do any look with this palette, and I also use the Sub-Zero highlight palette as well. But yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with this makeup look and I cannot wait to show you how to recreate it. If you would like to see how to get this look, then please carry on watching, but before you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. It means the world and it really helps my channel out. And without further ado, let's just get started into the tutorial. Okay, here we go. So I've already put a little bit of tape on the outer corner of my eye, going from the outer corner of the lash line towards the brow, just because I want a really sharp edge to this look. And to prime the lids, I'm going to take the BPERFECT Perfect Prime Eyeshadow Base. I wanted to use this because I'm using a few BPERFECT products in today's video, but also I have been using this lately and I actually really like it. It's just not as intense as the P. Louise base. So I'm going to go ahead and take it on a skinny concealer brush. Any kind of flat synthetic brush will do, the flatter the better I find. And what I'm going to do is just pop a few splodges of this onto my lid. So I'm just going to take my mirror and just pop this onto the lid, not being neat at all, just like really getting the product on there. Taking that right into the inner corner because I'm going to be putting shadow there as well. Then I'm taking the flat synthetic brush and I'm just going to take my brush and just pat down the eyeshadow base so it's really nice and smooth and has an even coverage across my lid. And then I'll just take the tip of the brush with some product and just use that to carve out the brows. So the first shade that I will be taking is this one right here, which is called Mood from the BPERFECT Cosmetics Stacey Marie Carnival XL Pro palette. It is a beautiful navy blue matte shade, and as you can see I have used it before. And I'm just taking that on a Peaches and Cream PC38 brush. And I'm just going to start by placing this just above the crease where you can see that little dot I put there. My eyes are slightly hooded. You can see lid space, but not a lot. So what I find is if I put it just above the crease, you can still see the colour, and that's what you want. Don't be afraid to take your eyeshadow higher. That is definitely the rule I've learned. So then I'm just going to start wiggling the brush just to deposit that colour. Deposit that colour. Wiggling my brush. And I'm going to go past the tear duct because I want this to be an extended cut crease. So I'm really just wiggling the brush and pushing the colour in. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, but just on the edges where the brush is more so blending the colour than putting it down, it's actually kind of starting to blend into a lighter blue, which is really, really beautiful. This palette is amazing. I've been playing with it for the past like month or so. I got it during like proper lockdown to play with and no regrets at all. Okay, so as you can see, I'm literally just putting like a stripe. I'm going to bring it a little bit higher actually. I haven't dipped my brush back into the palette at all. Bring that a bit higher, but I will be blending out this kind of section right here. It's going to come all the way inwards with a lighter blue. Just going in with a little bit more product just to make that super intense. And that's literally all I'm doing for the first shade. It looks crazy to start off with, but here we go. The next colour that I am going to take is this one right here, which is called Soft Spot, which is a beautiful kind of baby blue colour. And I'm going to take it on this teeny tiny blending brush from Morphe. It came in one of those limited edition brush sets. And with this colour, I'm just going to start by kind of stamping that on top of the edge of the dark blue, right into the brow. Don't be scared. And I'm just pushing that in, and then I'm just going to start wiggling my brush to diffuse the colour, going with a teeny little bit more just kind of above it, going across, and just tickle those edges. Obviously this looks crazy right now, but this is definitely going to be one of those makeup looks where at certain stages it's going to look crazy, and I just have a feeling that by the end I'm going to love it. And I'm actually really excited because I've planned this look out in my head, but it's not so much like a review, it's not so much I'm copying a tutorial or anything like that, or like I'm doing a celebrity look. It's just me kind of making my own look, so that's what I'm really excited about today. Blending that section out. I'm not going to worry too much about this bit here where it reaches kind of my skin in between my brows, because I'm going to be putting foundation there anyway. I might go in with my contour nose shade later on to kind of connect it all, so I'm literally just blurring out these edges like so in little motions. I actually have got a lot of use out of this little brush. Blending that across, bringing that all the way into the inner corner, don't forget. Then I'm going back to that dark mood shade, and I'm just going to re-intensify what we've done already. And I'm just going to slowly in circular motions, I'm just bringing that into the lighter blue shade, just to kind of diffuse the two together and get the best blend that I possibly can at all different stages of this makeup look. I'm going to be cutting the crease about here, so all of this section underneath is really like irrelevant, it's just the blend above. Okay, I'm happy with that so far. So the next shade that I'm going to take is this one right here called Reckless, which is a very, very dark kind of burgundy, purpley kind of colour, and I am taking that on a brush from Spectrum's Collections. It's a fluffy pencil brush, and I'm going to use this to deposit the colour. Okay, so I'm just going to, there's all like a loose hair on this brush. There's actually a loose hair on this brush which is going to irritate the makeup, so I'm just going to cut that off. Bye-bye! So I'm just going to push this kind of into the upper crease area, but obviously I will blend as I go. So I'm just depositing the colour, and I'm imagining this going all the way like around and up a little bit. So I'm just going to push that in a line, and at this moment in time it's gonna look crazy, but it will get better. So I'm just pushing that in. Sorry if you can hear background noise, by the way. It's summertime. It's very hot and muggy here in England, and I need the window open. So I'm just kind of overlapping that darker blue, which in between should make like a dark purpley kind of blend. It's really pushing that into the base. So you can see I've gone up, down, up. Just starting to add more colour now that we've kind of made the shape that I'm after. So I'm just blending this on top just to get the most colour payoff possible, and then I'm just going to overlap that blue, which should make kind of like a dark purpley blend together. Just on the top part of this, which is towards my brow, I'm just going to start by, without taking any extra product, just in little circular motions, I'm just going to blend that into the base, just so when I pick the next colour it's just going to blend that little bit easier onto the other part of my eye. Now I am going to take the shade Wasted, which is right here. It's this beautiful bright purple shade, which is like my favourite colour for eyeshadow. I'm going to take it on a Morphe M224 Brush, which is a really skinny blending brush, and I'm going to use it to blend out that darker berry kind of purple. Why do I want to sing that? Like, is it Skrillex? Feel so wasted on myself. Doom, doom. Okay, so I've just picked up a bit of product and tapped off the excess. I'm just going to start doing the same thing I did with that lighter blue, and just kind of tap over the edges of the darker purple shade. This actually doesn't look that different when you blend it together, but it will add some dimension to this blend. Really pushing that in. And then I'm just going to take the brush with no extra product and just blend over that, and then bring it into that kind of middle purpley blue section. and then just go over the edges of that as well. I'm going to be putting a pink here. We're running out of space, but it's fine. Then I'm going to take this Barbie pink shade, which is called Pep Talk, right here on another Morphe M562. I'm just going to tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to overlap this as well. It probably will go right into my brow, so if you've got a bigger lid space than mine, then you'll have more room for this look. So I am just pressing that on top, and I'm very sorry for the sounds of the kids in the background, and just blend back and forth. And then I will go back to the darker shade and just kind of re-intensify and re-intensify. I'm gonna trademark that. Okay, I'm actually really happy with that blend. Just going to go back through this kind of section of colour. So back in with that really dark Reckless shade, and I'm just re-intensifying that. And then back in with Wasted, just on the middle of the pink and the dark purple. And then of course going in with Pep Talk just on top of all of these shades. Now I'm going to take some micellar water and a cotton bud. These ones are paper, just as an FYI, paper stem. I'm just loading up the cotton bud with some micellar water and then just wiping the excess on the back of my hand so it doesn't drip all over my eye. And I'm going to use this to help me cut the crease. So I'm just going to apply some pressure and then just draw where I want the cut to go. And I'm just removing the primer that's on the lid as well. Okay, I am happy with that cut crease. For the lid to prime before the shadows, I'm going to be taking P. Louise's Acid Rain paint in the shade Blank Canvas and one of the Mirror brushes. I could use the main brush, but I still need to do the other eye, so I'm just going to use this one. And I'm just going to put that right up to that cut crease line and just pat it in. I'm going to use a tiny little bit of this. You do not need a lot. And I'm just not going to focus a lot of product around the lower lash line because I'm going to be doing something fun with the liner. So I'm just loading up the paint on the back of my hand and then just filling in that area. So the cut crease is done. I must admit it's not the neatest. I think next time I'll just use the thinner brush, but I'll use it for this eye. It's fine. I'm actually going to be putting a liner through the crease anyway. So the next shade that I am taking, now I've done the cut crease, is this beautiful lime green shade called Ecstasy. And I'm taking it on a Morphe M224 brush. They seem to have like replaced this with a different colour or something, but it's definitely a Morphe brush if you can see. Okay, I'm just going to make sure there's no like creasing. I tend to get it just here. These paints do set super quick, so obviously I don't want them to set while my lid is creased. So I'm just taking that Ecstasy shade and I'm just going to fill in the kind of like inner section. Then I'm going to switch to this mid-green shade, which is called The Hype, right here. I'm taking it on a MAC 239 brush, which is a flat shader brush. Any version will work. And I'm just going to place this in the other kind of section of this lid and overlapping the lighter green and just blending them together just by tapping over both of the shades. I always struggle to do this section right here because my eye goes funny. Just going to overlap Ecstasy a little bit. I have a little patch on my eye that's just not picking up product. There's a little patch on my eye that just won't pick up product. I think it's a little bit dry from this new skincare treatment that I'm on. It's fine. tapping that across the two greens to blend them together. Then lastly for the lid, I'm going to take the shade called Nuke, which is a dark kind of forest green, and I'm taking it on a Morphe M431 pencil brush, and I'm just going to pull this down from the outer edge and using the tape as a guide, almost like a liner. I am going to put the orange through the crease like I had planned. So I'm taking this Silver Beauty Acid Trip UV Hydra liner and this little brush from Morphe. It's a teeny tiny, that you can barely see it, eyeliner brush. So I'm just going to wet this and then draw a line going from the inner corner outwards and then just kind of flick it out so it's not going all the way across. And I should not put blank canvas paint on my hand because I've got it in my hair. Again, if you are a subscriber of my channel for a while and watched a previous video, I can't remember which one it was, but I got blank canvas base in my hair on a freshly hair wash day, so it's a reoccurrence. So I'm just going to pull this through the crease. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with that, and I'm a little bit nervous to add any extra product in case I ruin it. That was a very tense moment. Okay, I'm just going to fan that dry. You know when you love a look so much that you don't know whether to add like an extra step in case it ruins it? I was thinking of removing that, but I actually really like the smoky kind of green liner effect, so I am going to leave that. The next step I'm going to do is peel off the tape. I love doing this. Oh, lovely. For the waterline, I'm going to take this orange liner. This is from Revolution. It's the Hypocrisy liner. Vice liner. If I can find it, I'll link it down below, but it's just an orange liner. I'm going to pop it through the waterline. I'm now just going to pop a little bit of the BPERFECT primer underneath the lower lash line, just a teeny little bit, just to help pick up the shadows that I'm going to be putting down. And then I'll take the same brush I used from earlier to do the lid and just kind of spread that around. Then for the lower lash line, I was thinking of doing the purple, but I'm actually going to put the greens on the lower lash line. So I'm taking that shade Nuke, which is the darkest green, just so it kind of blends into the outer edge. And I'm just going to diffuse that under the outer section of the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the Hype, which was the mid green, and blend that in the middle. Then of course take the shade Ecstasy and just pop that right in the inner corner. For the very inner corner of the eye, I was thinking of putting a yellow down, which would complement the look very nicely, but I'm actually going to take the shade Pink Me, which is right here. You can't really tell on camera, but it's white with it is white with some pink kind of reflex to it. So I'm going to wet a pencil brush, which is just from Primark, with some setting spray, and just kind of pop that right on this kind of inner section where the look ends, just to complete it. So I'm just going to pop that just on this inner corner on top of the end of the green. Okay, I'm actually so happy with this look. I am going to skip liner. Just going to curl my lashes. And pop on some mascara. This is the BPERFECT Bad Llama Mascara. So I'm literally so happy with this look, and also happy because I made it up on my own. I didn't like take inspo from anyone, I just kind of made it up in my head. So I'm going to pop some lashes on. I've got some new ones to try. These ones are from Bold Face Cosmetics. They are faux mink lashes. They aren't real mink, which is cool. So I'm going to take these ones. They are in the style Alter Ego and they are so long. In my previous tutorial, which was the Friend Draws My Makeup challenge, I used super long lashes and I love them. So I feel like they would go with this kind of really wide-eyed look. So I'm going to go ahead, pop these on, do the other eye, and I'll be right back. So now the eyes are done, I'm going to move on to priming the face. I'm going full out with this makeup tutorial, so I'm going to use a lot of products. I'm going to start by taking the Primark primer water, what's left of it anyway. I'm definitely going to make a trip soon. I'm going to be brave and make it into the shop, so I'm going to spray this all over my face. I just love the way it feels, especially on a really hot day like today. Now for my actual primer, I'm going to be taking a heavy foundation, so I want more of like a pore filling primer. I'm going to be taking the Primark Blur primer and just massaging this into the main areas, so kind of like on the chin, nose, forehead, where I have the most kind of open pores. Then for foundation, I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty foundation. This is in the shade Toasted Coconut. This is a very, very full coverage foundation. I haven't worn this in a long time, but I just fancied like going in with the cake today. So I'm going to bounce that into the skin using a Spicy Choco Tear Blend sponge. Moving on to concealer, I have this Huda Beauty one that I want to use, but it's not light enough. This is in the shade Sugar Biscuit, but I definitely should have picked up a lighter shade. I got this ages ago and I don't use it much because it's the wrong shade, but I really want to use it because of the coverage. So I'm gonna go heavy duty and mix this one with the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. This is the palest concealer I have in the shade Fair Beige, which is very pale. So I'm gonna pop a little bit of this down and then this over the top a little bit and then blend it in, and hopefully it will work. There's a lot of makeup in this video and you don't have to wear it this much, but I just really wanted to cake it on today. And I'm going to pop that in at the usual places, so forehead, under the eyes, chin, nose, the usual, and blend it out with the same sponge. Now to add even more cake, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Light and use this to contour. I'm going to go under my cheekbones, or basically on top, so when you blend it, it doesn't go too far down. And then across the tops of my forehead, down the nose a little bit, under the lip, under the jaw. And then I'm going to blend it out with my Ava 110 Face Shape Brush. Next up, to add some more cake to this mix, I'm going to take the MUA Liquid Cream Blush in the shade Peach Puff. I'm just going to dab this onto my cheekbones with my, what is this, ring finger. I'm just going to dab it onto my cheeks. Then I'm going to take the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. I haven't used like a cream highlight before, a normal highlight, in ages, and I kind of missed the like blinding highlight that I used to do. So I'm going to take the shade Sunbeam and just pop it on top of my cheekbones and blend it in with my ring finger. Then I'm going to take this beautiful highlight palette called the Sub-Zero Memo Mitchell Highlight Collection. And I am going to take the shade, In Blankets has a little bit of sparkle to it. This one's going to be way too pale. It's like almost like a white. This one looks like it has some pink reflex. I'm going to take In Blankets because this is an extra look. Why not? I'm just going to spray my brush with a little bit of fixing spray, just so it's extra metallic. I'm so excited. I'm just going to use this to set the highlight before we do the powder. I love that highlight. It reminds me of Love Hearts. Is it Love Hearts? Out of the Moonchild palette from Anastasia. That is so nice. Then we need to set this cake into place. I'm taking the AOA Studio Perfect Finishing Pressed Powder in the shade Beige. I'm just going to take this Eyeshadow brush and just press it into the skin. And yes, I think I burped / hiccuped just then. Don't even know if that came up on camera, so if not, I've just exposed myself. And I will be avoiding the area with the highlight, of course. Just setting my Sula into place. Now onto powder, contour and highlight. I did tell you this is going to be a lot of makeup. I'm going to go in with the shade Brûlée, which is this one right here, on a Beige Cosmetics Studio Pro 3 brush. And I'm just going to go in the exact same places you put the Huda Beauty contour. Then I'm going to take a mixture of the shades Limoncello, which is basically a banana shade, and Cappuccino, which is the palest colour right here. I'm going to take a mixture of them on this fluffy brush, just hit myself in the face, this fluffy brush from Eyeshadow, and just pop it in the same places we put concealer, under the eyes, chin, forehead, and maybe a little bit under the contour, because why not at this point. Now I'm going to bronze up the skin using my favourite bronzer at the moment, which is the MUA Bronze to Perfection Multi-Bronzing Powder in the shade Golden Dunes on this big fluffy brush from Eyeshadow. I've just been loving this bronzer lately. So I'm just going to bronze up the outer perimeters of my face and down the neck, and yes. It's hot in here. For blush, I'm going to take my Sigma Spotlight Duster brush and the MUA Blushed Matte Blush Powder in the shade Rouge Punch, which looks like these. I'm just going to pop that onto the kind of higher apples of my cheeks and blend upwards. And then to set this into place, I'm going to take the MUA Pro Base Fixing Spray. It's so nice when it's hot. And just because I can, I'm going to put on a little bit more highlighter. I'm also going to pop it on my nose and then like above the brow as well, and maybe even like a dot on my chin. I'm thinking I've got a hair across my eye and it's just these huge eyelashes. I'm now just going to put a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, and then onto the lips. I'm going to start off with Peaches and Cream Borderline Lip Liner. We're going to go for a nude, let's be real. And then for lippy, I'm going in with a Huda Beauty Board Meeting lipstick. And then to finish off the look, I'm going to take the Peaches and Cream Cherub Lipgloss, and I'm going to pop it on with a Sigma lip brush. Just love this sound. Oh. I'm just obsessed with that sound. I just think it's a really nice sound. Anyway, I'm going to pop this gloss on. And finally, here we are with the finished makeup look, which, as you can already guess, I'm completely obsessed with. I'm so happy with this makeup look, and I feel like it's just gonna show me that I need to do some more like creative looks. Just get in my mirror so I can look at myself basically. But yeah, this is definitely just making me realise that I need to kind of be my own creator. Recently, to kind of get my creative juices flowing, I've been doing a lot of like Instagram recreations of other artists' looks, competition entries, palette reviews, but I feel like I need to do more creative looks like this where I just completely make it up on my own, and I'm so happy with it. So yeah, definitely pat on the back for me. I feel super happy with this makeup look. If you made it this far throughout the video, congratulations. I'm sure it's going to be a long one, or has been a long video, so well done to you. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload a new video. I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already. It means the absolute world. Follow me on my social media channels, so my TikTok and my Instagram. I'm very active on those platforms, so definitely go ahead and check them out for more kind of short fire content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If there's any kind of video requests that you have, definitely pop a comment in the description box. Pop a comment in the comment section, that's what I meant to say, down below, and I will certainly get around to it for you. And thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time. Bye! I've been using a new, like, oh my god, the kids next door are being so loud. And then of course, mainly the problem, what? Brush, I'm just going to go in the same places where we put the hate here, then